Hey, what's up everyone? My name's Grace, or you probably know me as Harmonious Tree on Instagram. Today I am finally doing my long-awaited character card tutorial. We will be going through two programs. Today we will be going through two programs. We'll be going through Adobe Photoshop and Canva, which is free online. Character cards are usually for your stories. They're to help give your followers ideas about your characters and just give like quick information, give quick context. So I'm sorry that it's taken me so long to make this video. I've honestly procrastinated it really bad, just trying to figure out the best way to organize it and show you things that might be helpful. Another disclaimer is that I do my character cards in a very specific way, and so please feel free to do whatever you want. I'm going to show you what helps me, what I do, and that's just a suggestion, but don't feel like you have to do everything I do in order to make a character card. It's just really up to you. So first I'm going to show you Canva, which is this design website. I currently just have a free version because I never use it. If I do use it, I will use it for like Instagram stories sometimes, but I always just feel really limited in my design abilities when it comes to Canva, but I know it's really helpful for people that maybe don't have a natural eye for graphic design or just need cute like templates, things like that, and that's what I'm going to show you here. There's some really cool templates that you can use. So here I'm on the home page. On the left over here it says templates. I'm going to click that, and then they have like a ton of like, you could do PowerPoints. These are like Instagram stories, which are inspired by my last design, but I'm just going to type in like Instagram stories right here. So the pixel dimension of what you need for an Instagram story is 1080 by 1920. I'll go over that again when we get into Photoshop and how you can make them there. But here on Canva, you just have like all these different templates, and all of these are 1080 by 1920, so you don't have to worry about that. Yeah, so you can kind of go through and don't feel like you have to use the exact designs in a template. I can kind of show you how you can make it your own. I really like this one right here with like the Polaroids and the film. That might be one we use. Or yeah, I don't know. This one's really cute too, but it's pro, so I can't use that. Oh, that one's pro as well. All the ones I like are pro, so I think I'm just gonna scroll back up. I think this one, yeah, this one's free, so I'm gonna click on it. It gives me like a color palette, tells me I can like edit and download it, and here's that size, the 1080 by 1920 that we need. So I'm gonna go ahead and click customize this template. Awesome, and I'm gonna name it, let's say, Brooke's character card. You can name it up at the top right here. Awesome. And then basically I'm not gonna move, I might move like this, so you can click on these boxes. I'll click on the tape as well, and I'm gonna make it like smaller and maybe delete part of this film. Oh, not the whole thing though. Oh, maybe I just won't do that, but I'm gonna make it smaller. That way we can actually fit stuff on it. And this is like a little pin, I think. If you hit Control Plus, you can move like closer to your design. So I just hit Control Plus to get closer. Just gonna pin it there. Awesome. So now it's like smaller and I can fit information down here. I do like this font, so I might just keep that. So for making Brooke's character card, this is what it might look like. I'll put it on the Polaroid. And then basically here is where you can like replace an image. So I'm going to, trying to remember how to do that. I think I can just hit edit image. And then, oh, maybe not. trying to figure out how to replace an image. Okay, I might do it the long way. There might be an easier way, but this is how I'm gonna do it. So I'm gonna go to uploads right here, and this is where you can upload your media. So I'm going to hit upload media, and then I have these two edited images of Brooke, so I'm going to upload those, and you're going to see them load into this like menu. As you can see, I have like a bunch of stuff from my posts loaded in there. So then I'm just gonna drag this image of Brooke and put it in that photo, and then I can double click it and kind of move the frame around, as you can see. So now she is in the image. And then I might just leave the film images here because I like them. I think her dress even matches the color palette pretty well. Anyways, so I think then going back, now we can hit like this text if we want, and then we can like add a bit of body text. We can add a subhead. I'm going to go ahead and just add some body text, and then as you can see, that 4 arrowed like move tool, I'm going to move that down. So yeah, pretty much everything you need is over to the left here. You have your templates, which you can see the one that we used right here. You have elements, which is kind of fun. Like I can use this little green leaf thing and I can place it somewhere. It's like a cute little video, and I can like place it right there. I can rotate it, which you can use this little like rotating button right here, and I can like rotate it like that. So yeah, you can pretty much search anything. So I can search like a flower, and then I can like put something like this on the character card or whatnot. So yeah, and then you can add your text. So I'm gonna show you more in Photoshop, like how, like what you should put in your character card. But let's say just like age. Right now she's 25. And I can make this bigger by like dragging the corner. I can move it. I can highlight age and I can make it bold so it's like a different weight. And then I can like keep going downward. So the cool thing about using Canva is that you can make it a video and you can animate it. So let's say I want to animate like this picture or whatnot. I can click animate, and then we can do something like fade. We can fade these elements as well. We can fade them in. We can fade the text in. So you can pretty much do anything. And then what we can do is we can watch it, and that's what it looks like when you put it on your story. So you could like download it as a video and post that, or you don't have these like video elements. You don't have any animation for anything. So for effects, I can put like remove animation down here, and then you can just, if you want, you can just download it as an image. So you can click like share, download, and then it suggests PNG. You can also do a JPEG, yeah, things like that. And then you want to make sure it's still at that 1080 by 1920 size, and then you can click download and your character card is saved. So next I'm going to show you Photoshop and how I make my character cards in there, and then we will talk more about what information to put in your character cards. So now I am in Photoshop, and this might be a disclaimer, it might not be, but I use the real deal of Photoshop. I pay for an Adobe subscription because I use it on a regular basis. I use other programs, not just Photoshop, so I use like InDesign and Illustrator and After Effects and yeah, just all the Adobe softwares. So I know there's like free links out there, so if you don't have Photoshop, you can get it if you need to. So anyways, I have opened my character card template from season 7, and Alexis was the last one I did because she's the one in here. But I'm going to go to File, I'm going to go to New, and then we're going to create a document that again is that 1080 by 1920 size. And I'm just gonna call it character cards. And then make sure your color mode is in RGB. I highly recommend that if you're just posting things on the web. RGB is the color mode that you want to be in. And then we're gonna hit create. So this is the size of an Instagram story. And so kind of my process, again, this is my process. You don't have to do the exact same things that I'm doing. But I'm going to add a background image. So right now our background's just white, but I'm going to go to File, I'm going to go to Place, Embedded, and then I'm going to pick a background image, which I've already downloaded one. I've just made like a blurry screenshot of like Del Sol Valley. This is what I think I used. Yeah, I literally used the same thing in here. So you can use whatever you want. You can make like a plain background, you can add some elements, kind of like Canva. Yeah, just whatever you want. I like to do this. And then for like design purposes, I also like to do like a box around it just to kind of like enclose information. Yeah, so I'm going to make the stroke white, I'm going to make the fill none, and then I'm going to make the stroke like that wide. That looks good. I'm going to like make sure it's all centered. So if I go to my align section up here, I can go align to, make sure it's canvas, and then I can hit the center align and it'll snap that rectangle to the center if it already wasn't centered. And then I'm just gonna go to my properties panel here. I thought it was in here. Oh no, it's down here in my layers panel. I was thinking InDesign. But if I click my rectangle here, there's opacity right here, and I'm just going to make that about 50, so it's like lowered in opacity. But I tend to like making a border around my character cards. I really think that it helps, yeah, just make all the information feel enclosed and just like where it's supposed to be, and I just think it looks nice. So again, you can add like whatever design elements you like, but those are the ones that I typically like to do. I'm basically just making this. I had the border like a lot thinner here, but we're just gonna go with it. And then you can kind of make a Polaroid if you want to. Like if you want to make a Polaroid, you just make a white box, and then you make a, I'm gonna change the fill to black. Oh, not for that though. I'm gonna click off the rectangle, there we go, and then make the fill black, and then you can make another like more square box, and then like align those two, and boom, there's your Polaroid. So you can like manipulate it how you need to. If you hold shift, you have more free form when moving shapes around. So let's just do a Polaroid because that's fun and easy. So I'm going to click these two rectangles in my layers panel, and I'm going to hit Control G, and that groups them, and I'm just going to label this Polaroid. So that way it's just like in its own little group, and they're still not centered to each other. There we go. So then I'm going to hit my type tool over here. It's really big right now, but I think we're just going to use this brush script font that I like to use, and we're just going to type in Brooke's name and make it smaller. It's definitely in all caps right now, and that's because of my character panel. It's like the double T that stands for like it's in all caps, so I'm just going to click off of that. so it doesn't think that it's supposed to be in all caps. There we go. That's my normal font right there. Yeah, so her name's Brooke Baxter. Awesome. And then what I like to do is I like to add a little stroke around Brooke, or the text. And I'm trying to remember where to do that. I think I just, oh, it's down here in effects. So like down here in the right corner, there's like an F and an X. I'm gonna click that. I'm gonna go to stroke, and I'm gonna make the stroke about 6, I think. I think that might be it. Yeah, that's good. And then I'm also gonna add a drop shadow, which this one's really large, but I'm just going to make it to where, there we go. So it's just a little bit offset to the right side of the text. So again, you don't have to do it just like I did. I just think that's something you probably can't do in Canva, is have the freedom to do whatever you want with your text. But again, that's just me. And then I'm going to click another text box, and this is when I'm going to find a sans serif font that I like. So I really like Helvetica New because it has all of these different fonts in the font family. I'm going to hit condense bold for now, I think, and then we're going to drop down to 40. Oh, maybe 30. Yeah, okay, and then I'm going to be like age, and then hit enter. We'll say like, I don't know, hometown, and like, I don't know, family. As you can see, it's like way too close together, so I'm just gonna highlight that. And then over here in the leading, I'm gonna change it to like 24. Yeah, that looks good. I might even make the font size like 24. Yeah, okay, that looks good. And then I usually go to my paragraphs panel and I just turn that to center, and then I'll center the text to the page. So anyways, that is kind of what I do. And then if you want to like add an image, you can just gonna click and drag a photo of Brooke. Yeah, so I'm just gonna like resize it into like the Polaroid or whatnot. And then basically what you can do here is I can click with 2 fingers or right click and create a clipping mask, and that's gonna go right in the black box that we had before. So there's that. I can also make the font smaller, put it in the like white margin of the Polaroid. Yeah, that looks good. So this doesn't look exactly what I usually do, but just trying to give an example of making one from scratch. One thing I would recommend is if you have like a background, you might want to change the opacity. So I'm going to like lower the opacity, and then I'm going to change my text color to black, just so that it's like readable. Like that's way more readable than it was before. So anyways, then we can be like 25. She's from Brindleton Bay. And we might have to change the size of the text again, and that's okay. And then we'll say like Leah Lewis is her family or whatever. Yeah, so I'm just gonna change this yet again to like, let's just go down to 20. And then this can be like 22, the leading, the space in between the lines. Move that in the center. And then what I like to do is I typically like the answer to each of these. I typically like to change it to a different weight, not a different font, but a different weight. So I think I'm going to change it to medium. Would that work? Maybe we'll just do regular. So there's like a clear difference. Yeah, so if I go to regular, you see there's like a clear difference between the category and then the answer. So yeah, that's that's like typically what I like to do, and then again I can just change it however I need. Sweet. So that's kind of my process in Photoshop. There's really not a lot of layers that you need for character cards. As you can see, I really only have one template. So what I would do is I would delete like the photos of Alexis, and then I would like type in like the next name, you know, and then make sure it's like centered. And then I would literally just go in and retype all this information, place the new photo, and then save as a JPEG. And so yeah, my template, I only had one Photoshop document, and then I just like used the same Photoshop document for everything else. And that just helps me like stay consistent and things like that. So now I'm going to answer some of the questions that you guys put in my Discord server. And so yeah, just like deciding what info to put in it. I decide based on like what is important to give context for. So like in my story, like I like to give ages and also like helping people connect family members, helping people connect their like sexuality and like how they identify themselves. And yeah, maybe like a lot of the harmonies had businesses, and so I like put what businesses they owned in here just so that like different locations could be connected to the characters. Also, like as you could see here, I did like a currently section, so like this is what, you know, Alexis is doing in season 7. Like she's raising her son Ace with Alec and helping writing songs for the harmonies with Alec. So that's like what she's doing in season 7. And so that's like what I put there, which I thought was helpful. Yeah, I just like to give my followers context on things I don't always talk about in the post. So like if they're coming into my story late, like what are the important information tidbits that your followers need in order to be able to read your story and be able to pick up like where they're at. Things like Zodiac signs I find to be fun for my followers to relate more to my characters. So like one of my good friends feels like she can relate really well to Gwen because she's also a Pisces, and just like things like that are more for fun and can kind of help your readers like connect with your characters. And make sure you do research for that though. Like if I did a lot of research on Zodiac signs and just like what my characters I felt like fit best into like certain signs. So yeah, just maybe try to find a way that your readers can connect. How do I find out my ages? A lot of you guys ask this. I know this can be like kind of difficult, especially for generation stories and just the way ages are set up in The Sims 4. I guess disclaimer in a way, I wrote my story like away from Simsta. So I wrote my story like way earlier than I ever knew Simsta existed, and so I guess I just had the ages in mind already for each season. So like it's my story is inspired mainly by like Gossip Girl and One Tree Hill, and so I like the first 3 seasons are when they're in high school, and then there's a huge time jump for like 4 years of like when they go to college, and then the last like 4 or 5 seasons is all them as adults. And so that's kind of how my my story has gone. So like in America, sophomores are usually 16 in high school. So like Brooke and Connor started out as 16-year-olds in season 1, where like Gwen, Tara, Sean, and Nathan were all juniors that year, so they were 17. And so I've kind of started on like, okay, what age were they at in season 1, and then like count how many seasons or how many years I've gone. Another helpful thing has been Marcy. So like if we go to her character card, like her age has honestly helped me a lot. And like, oh, 9.5 years has passed since Marcy's been born. So that's also been really helpful for some reason. It's just like knowing how old she is and being able to base everyone else's ages off of her because she was born in the story. And so, like, her being born at the end of season 1, I've been able to be like, oh, like 9.5 years has passed. So honestly, having a child in the story has been very helpful in terms of like knowing what age people are at. So yeah, also just like changing my character cards each season has been helpful, and just like, okay, well, 6 months has passed since, you know, the season 6 finale. So like, how old would they be 6 months from now? And just asking myself that question has been really helpful. So that's all I have for you guys. If I didn't answer any questions that you wanted me to answer, or if I went through really fast and you still have questions on Photoshop layers or how to move around in Canva, like, please don't hesitate to ask me on either my Discord server or my Instagram DMs. I'm very good at responding to both of those. I'm not always the best at responding to YouTube comments, so please feel free. I'll have the links to my Instagram and my Discord in the description. So please go there if you have any questions, and I will do my best to help you out in creating your character cards. Hope you enjoyed. Thanks. Bye.